Hi, I'm Katie Ziskind. I specialize with distant, frustrated couples who are stuck in a cycle of sexual avoidance and emotional avoidance. You and your partner might be getting into fights and feeling hopeless and confused and insecure afterwards. You might be self-isolating, using pornography, an online sex addiction, or even emotional or physical cheating as a way to numb out and disassociate when things aren't going well in your marriage. More than anything, you want to feel close and connected, but right now you're feeling lonely and distant in your marriage. When you two go to talk, you find that fights escalate, quickly turning into shouting, and these high conflict fights feel endless. You might be an anxious attachment person, or you might be an avoidant attachment person, and more than anything, you want to build an emotionally secure attachment. When you feel anxious, it's not a good feeling. Your heart rate's increased and you're constantly on edge. Your marriage reminds you of when you were a child, when you always had to be on edge and were constantly wondering how your parent, who was emotionally chaotic, would react to you. Your marriage, if you're avoidant, also becomes a ground for those same feelings to come up, where you're afraid of abandonment from your spouse in the same way that your parent abandoned you. Also, if you have an avoidant attachment, you may pull away saying, why try, and give the silent treatment because you're feeling inadequate, or you're afraid of being inadequate, or you're also afraid of it just turning into loss and grief all over again because your childhood was filled with experiences of loss and grief. So I help you get to the heart of these issues. When you're struggling with guilt, shame, intense emotions, these are often underneath anger and conflict. So I give you a playful way to build communication skills, learn how to turn toward each other instead of away, and really start to know that your partner is your best friend, all by feeling the sense of emotional connection through empathy. So one skill that I'll teach you in couples therapy is emotional validation. This helps your partner feel heard, understood, loved, and special. Emotional validation is not something we learn, especially if we grow up with narcissistic parents or caregivers or in an environment of emotional chaos. If you were what I call parentified, which means you had to be a parent from a very young age as a child, you never had anyone to emotionally validate you. So I teach you skills for a healthy marriage based on emotional validation. This fosters an environment of what I call emotional intimacy for a strong and healthy couple bubble. Your couple bubble is this invisible boundary around the two of you. And no matter if you're sitting on the same couch, 2 feet away from each other, you could feel like you're miles apart on different planets. But if you have a strong and healthy couple bubble, which I teach you how to do, you could be across the ocean and you can feel like your partner is your best friend and the person that's closest to you and knows you the best. So I teach you skills for strengthening and maintaining the strength of your couple bubble. Your marriage is a garden. So just like a garden needs sunlight, fertilizer, good air, nice amount of water, good soil, your marriage needs important ingredients. So right now you might be trying to build a marriage with a few important ingredients missing. So I come in and I offer guidance and expertise and give you those ingredients so that you can build emotional intimacy and sexual intimacy, and you can learn to build a loving, long-lasting marriage. So if you're looking at improving your communication, you're improving emotional connection, you want to build a meaningful bond, you want to feel excited and hopeful about the future of your marriage, I would love to help you do so. You can head over to wisdomwithinct.com to work with me. That's wisdomwithinct.com. Or if you're watching this video on my website, you can just click the pink button right below this video, and that allows me to send you a questionnaire where I can learn more about you and your partner, as well as your goals and fight cycle, and then I can pop you into my calendar for this week. So I'm Katie Ziskind. I'm a Gottman Level 2 trained marriage therapist. I specialize with couples who are stuck in a cycle of emotional distance and frustration, as well as sexual avoidance, and I help you use conflicts and power struggles as an opportunity for growth, togetherness, and unity. I'm also a certified sex therapy informed professional, meaning I give you a safe place to talk about sex and make sex something that's pleasurable and beautiful and intimate for you both. A lot of times we carry sexual shame and guilt from a strict conservative religious upbringing, We aren't taught how to be sexually empowered or sexually aware, and we're often carrying these aspects into our relationship. Sex might be uncomfortable. It might not be a space where you know how to communicate. You might want your partner to do certain things, but you don't know how to ask for them. You might need help talking about sex openly and comfortably, and I would love to support you in doing that. And just know that emotional intimacy and sexual intimacy are deeply interwoven. So I help you strengthen and improve both of those. Head on over to wisdomwithinct.com, and I would love to help you build a loving, lasting marriage today.